All right.
That is a 1970 Challenger TA.
TA. Coming right up, baby.
I just wanna lie. I just wanna lie. Lie. I just wanna lie.
All right. What do we got here on this episode?
This is a 1970 Challenger TA.
TA.
It is a limited production high performance car that was made only to Holman Gate SCCA Racing. In 1970, they couldn't run the cars on the track unless there was so many of them on the street. So they built, I'm not exactly sure about the number, but I know they built only enough to make it legal to race. And just recently, one of these, I was reading a publication that said there's only 12 Panther pink ones known to exist. One sold for $193,000.
Jesus.
Now, here's the story behind this one. In contrast to that, Randy, the guy that lived behind me, his older brother Rob, this car came from exactly the same place that first Charger did, sat in the same driveway, same garage. He bought new a 69 Dart 340 GTS, the 4-speed car, had it for all about 7 months, and he rolled it over at Rochester Road and Stevenson Highway. Rolled it end over end about 8 times, 9 times.
Yeah, he wasn't very gentle with his cars.
Neither one of them were. And he came out of it only with a broken wrist, but to tell you the truth, when you looked at that car, you couldn't tell what it was without studying it real closely. It was that badly wrecked. Well, he took the insurance money, and he went and bought this brand new Challenger TA. It came from Hunter Dodge in Madison Heights, brand new. And he still had the cast on his wrist from the wreck with the Dart when he brought this Challenger home. And of course, like his brother, you know, they liked to hot rod around. They were Woodward racers and what have you. And the original 340 didn't last long. It lasted for about a year and a half maybe. And then they took it up and they pulled the motor out of it and took it up to Booth Aaron's.
Year and a half they blew the motor up.
Yeah. And they took it to Booth Aaron's, had it all built up. Now, the original horsepower for the 346 pack was 290 horsepower. When they got done with it, it was running about 400, 450 horsepower.
Goodness.
So it was much, much more than a stock TA. And he raced it at Milan and Detroit Dragway and where have you, and did fairly well with it. He took some trophies, got some good time slips with it and stuff. Had a lot of fun with it. It was starting to get a little tired. It was starting to burn a little oil out the right side. Not a lot, but you could see it. And so it was starting to get tired, and he decided to move on. And he bought himself it was a 73 or 4 Olds Cutlass. Quite a departure from this Challenger.
Yeah.
And the Challenger came up for sale. He wanted $2,800 for it. It only cost not quite $3,700 brand new. He wanted $2,800 for it, and I couldn't come up with $2,800. But I was driving a completely rust-free 67 Coronet 440. It was a 318 car. Well, actually, it was a 273 car. And I loved that car. It ran, it drove, it always did what you wanted it to do. It was just one of the best cars I ever owned, that Coronet. And I wanted that Challenger. And he started eyeing up the Coronet. And I'm saying, no, you cannot have the Coronet. And he wanted the Coronet. And he told me that he would take the Coronet and $2,100 for the Challenger. And at first I told him no. But then I got to thinking about it, and I'm going, man, you know what? I really want that Challenger. So we wound up making the deal. I brought the Challenger home. Commenced to having the same kind of fun he had with it. I did very little to it. Did some kicking ass up on Woodward. A lot of the guys didn't expect it to run the way it did. There was a guy that lived in Royal Oak that had a AAR Barracuda, which is the sister car to this one, same running gear. And I came up against him at a traffic light at Normandy and Woodward, and I just literally blew him away. And he just couldn't imagine that car could run like that. But then I started telling him what all was done to it and stuff. And then, well, you were cheating, that's not fair, and all that kind of stuff. But this car really used to amaze people. And that picture was taken during a trip out west in 1974 in the Painted Desert. The problem with that picture is, I didn't realize it at the time, but the driver's door is partly open, so it gives it kind of a strange look.
Yeah.
But
Still looks badass, though.
I owned the car from late '73, and I traded it in on a new Imperial in 1975.
Traded it for a big body.
Yep, that Imperial right now, if I still had it, if it was in absolute mint condition, it might be worth $15,000-$16,000. These cars are worth 10 times that. And what they did was they gave me 1,900, not 1,000, 1,900 in trade on the Imperial for this Challenger. So I guess you could say that was the one that got away.
Yeah, that's the one you want back, huh?
Yep, and there's no. That car right now is worth more than my house. There's no way I could ever afford to buy that back. But I had it once. I had fun with it. I can look at one and know what it is because I experienced it. And I just hope mine is one of the 12 that are still around. They're saying there's only 12 pink ones. I know there was at least 3 pink ones in the area where I lived. One was owned by a Troy cop. Another guy in Ferndale had one, and I think there was a guy out in Farmington that had one. So there was more than just mine at the time, just in Lower Michigan alone. But they're saying now there's only 12.
Yeah, weren't they built here?
Yeah, they were all built at Hamtramck, I believe.
Hamtramck.
Yep.
Well,
And like I said, I don't have the VIN number, so there's no way that I can find out if mine is one of the 12 that still exists or not. But
yeah, unfortunately. But you can hope so.
yeah.
All right, so that's the story of the Panther Pink TA, huh?
That's it.
All right. Tune in next time and see what kind of car we pull out of the picture box. Thanks for watching.